I'm not saying that no matter who plays him, I'm the real Lucifer. I'm just saying I get the guy. What about you? Do you get those virtues from Lucifer?
Yeah, I really did, and it's really changed my beliefs just watching the show because, you know, I was an atheist until I was like 10 years old, and then I got thrown into Catholicism by my grandpa. And now I'm just kind of floating, and I see Lucifer kind of, not as Satan, not as like the devil, like king of hell, but more like a prosecutor angel.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, interesting. The bringer of justice. Oh, we could talk about that. All right, guys. Good. Go. You guys are making me think. This is... Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Deep Thoughts with Mark Pellegrino. I like being real with you guys. I don't fuck around. I'm not here to entertain, I'm here to build. I'm here to love you. I'm here to learn. I'm here to grow, be better. What's up?
My question is actually about being human.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, do you think Bishop, even though he gives Aiden a lot of crap a lot of the time about being weak, do you think he was secretly proud of Aiden in the end, considering Aiden was the one who killed him in 2 timelines?
Yeah, that relationship between Bishop and Aiden actually disturbed me in real life in a lot of ways because, and I sort of get it. I mean, I think it sort of mirrors our relationship with our parents in a lot of ways. You know, they make mistakes and we hold them accountable for those mistakes for decades. And I think Bishop was always trying to make up for something with him. And it made the relationship terribly frustrating. I really got to identify with being a father and how the father's put outside the loop because of things they've done that make for irreconcilable differences. And in spite of all of that, there's this tie between them that is just, it's irrevocable. And Bishop did acknowledge a respect for Aiden's power and ability and did want to pass the mantle to him, irrespective of what Aiden thought of him. Bishop was able to recognize that he was a great man. That's why he brought him into the fold in the first place, because he was a warrior, fighting for a cause, I think an interesting cause. What do you think?
No, I agree. I think Bishop would have had it any other way.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I think he was a good dad in the end. Right? Do you think? The best he could be. That's all any of us can say, right? Good, thanks. Poor Bishop. More than his relationship with Aiden, I think what disturbs me most about Bishop was his hair. Want to know how that happened? All right. I had my hair dyed for something else, some other project. And when I got onto the set, they tried to duplicate that hair and it came out orange. And then the way we styled it, was like, that's not, no. Like 3 months into the shoot, I said, you know, I kind of wanted to slick my hair back, and the hairdresser was like, really? You could have done that? So I was stuck with that crazy hair. I think with the exception of Lucifer, my hair in most shows is bad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. The very first question I ever asked you at a convention, at my first convention, was to talk about the last train.
Yeah.
And at my last convention,
Which you're in.
which I am in,
Yeah.
yes, I was in the last train. I would like to ask you about the last train, if you would talk about it, please.
Yeah, The Last Train is a movie that I helped to produce. My wife Tracy directed it. It's about 2 people who try to commit suicide at the same time and fail. One person tries to jump in front of the train, the other person wants to do it, and stops him from doing it because she doesn't want their parts to mix. And they start to have a relationship, and through that relationship, I don't want to give it away, but stuff happens. Stuff happens that might change their perspective on life. And right now it's making the festival circuit. I think we have a festival in September, and there's a bunch of other festivals where it's going to be shown. And it's become a part of a campaign that I'm endorsing for Attitudes in Reverse called Keep Hope Alive. Yeah, man. And I hope through this to, be a part of that conversation that destigmatizes mental health issues and depression. I think part of the problem, that people have is the shame of coming out, right? The shame of needing help, the shame of saying I'm broken and I need a little assistance here. And when we recognize that and open ourselves up to the conversation, I think we can ease a great burden in people's lives, and it's the burden of overcoming the obstacle of revealing who you are, and what's going on. So I think that movie in its own little way will contribute something to the conversation that's very helpful. The writer, it's based on a play. The writer and the main actor in the movie, Anthony Montez, actually did attempt suicide. Did you know the story? Yeah. He jumped in front of a train in New York, and at the very last minute changed his mind and I guess crunched himself up against the wall. The train hit his elbow. I think it broke his elbow, but he survived. He survived to tell the story, and I think that's what we as survivors can do, is pass on our experience to other people and help them grow from our experience, right? Isn't that the part of the beauty of humanity? We have libraries full of books and wisdom, and each and every individual has a story to tell that can help us and save us from bad experiences like that. And I think something very positive will come from his story. What's up?
Oh my Chuck, I can't believe I'm actually talking to Satan. My question was, have you ever read fan fiction?
No.
Well, you said you were a writer, so do you write it?
There's something behind that question. Would I ever write it? Actually, funny that you ask. My wife and I have been thinking about writing an episode of Supernatural. But since I'm procrastinating, it probably won't be done till season 16. She had a great idea for the show, which I have not seen done yet. So hopefully it doesn't happen in this next season, and we can submit it and see where it goes. But yeah, we're interested in writing a little something for the show. Oh, how sweet. You say that now, when you see it. What's up?
Hi. It's been bugging me for a while. You commented on the new Fox episodes of Lucifer, and I was wondering what you thought of Tom Ellis's version of him.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I was just busting his balls. Just because I can, and why not? Lucifer is, it's an iconic part, like Hamlet, every actor is going to put their own signature on it. And I'm sure he's doing quite well with telling that story. And I wish him all the luck in the world. In reality, I do. I wish him... Bastard. No. I wish him all the luck in the world. I heard it's a good show. Yeah. There can be many Lucifers that we love, right? You can love them. It doesn't necessarily affect your love for me. I understand in the next season, Lucy's got to wander a bit. He's got to wander. You know, a good man is going to wander from time to time till he gets home again.
Yeah.
Look, I'm fucking with you. I'm putting things in your minds. Hey, how are you?
I'm really nervous, so if I stutter a lot, sorry. So I just wanted to say that I really loved your character, Lucifer on Supernatural, but my question was actually about Lost, Jacob. And I was just wondering how it was playing Jacob and how it compares to playing Lucifer on Supernatural.
You know, I was playing them at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, I would work on Lost, then fly to Vancouver to work on Supernatural, and fly back to Hawaii to work on Lost, which is interesting. I actually, you know, I loved working on the show. I love working with all the people. I know everybody fucking says that. That's so, you know, after a while you gotta think, bullshit. Somebody has to be an asshole on the show, but there really wasn't. They were humble and sweet and really embraced me. So it was really fun. But I found myself, being the contrarian that I am, listening to the man in black during scenes going, nah, there's nothing wrong with what you're saying, bud. Nothing wrong at all. In fact, I like what you're saying. Leave the island. Explore the world. Know, grow, become better. Isn't that? So I was sort of the Jacob, sort of who was supposed to be God, I guess, right? So something like that. Became a symbol for sacrifice. I hate that word. I hate it. You know what sacrifice means? What does sacrifice mean?
To give up.
Giving up something of greater value for something of lesser value. How the fuck is that? That's supposed to be good? That's moral? Look what he did to those poor people. What? What did you say? No. But I think people got a great deal out of it. I think the overall message of, if this was the overall message, that we sort of lift one another up and help each other through our paths in life, was essentially very good. I think it was beautiful, right? And I cried at the end. It was the only episode I watched. Were you?
Me and my sister, we watched it together because our parents loved it. So they're like, hey, when you're older, watch the show and you're sobbing by the end of it.
When that dog laid down next to Jack, I just lost it. Any dog in any frame of any film, I lose it.
Yeah.
Okay, the stupidest movie I have ever cried in
I Am Legend.
was Scooby-Doo. First of all romantic movies I cry like a baby. But Scooby-Doo, there was one moment I literally lost it. I'm sitting there with my wife, my stepson, my stepdaughter, and I lose it. You should have seen the expression on my stepdaughter's face. She's like, because I lost it out loud, like Notebook out loud, like that, like embarrassing. And it was the time. It was when Scooby-Doo said to Shaggy, "I love you, Raggy." I thought it was like my dog Frankie saying it to me, and I just lost it. It fell apart. I'm not afraid of that, guys. I'm not afraid of the tears. What's up?
Hi. My question was, how much of when you're in the background when you were in the background of scenes as hallucination Lucifer was scripted, and how much did you make up? Like, there's a scene where you're in the background pretending to blow bubbles and popping them.
Actually, I was
like, they don't even acknowledge you, they just walk by, and it's really hilarious.
Do you want to know what I was actually doing in that? I wasn't blowing bubbles and popping them. I saw that somewhere online. It was really cold. And when you breathe, you know, condensation came out of your mouth like smoke. So I was actually trying to blow smoke rings and put my finger through the rings.
The more you know.
There's nothing else for me to do. Sitting back there, tormenting Sam. But that tongue was disturbing, right? Yeah, that was Thomas Wright's. That wasn't written in there. The split tongue. That was Thomas Wright. Thomas Wright has directed a number of episodes, including Baby, which is one of my favorite episodes. And he ironically he directed one of the first films I ever did, a bad movie called No Holds Barred. Killing me. But he directed it, and I didn't see him for 20 some odd years until those episodes. That was the first time I saw him, and then he directed me in season 11. And he and my wife have become really good friends. He's an artist, and so he saw that tongue, and he's like, "It's Lucifer's tongue. It's got to be forked." Nice little creative touch. The things Lucifer could do with that tongue. You guys, what? I'm just thinking he can eat 2 scoops of ice cream simultaneously. Where are you guys going?
Did you hear the last panel?
I'd like to say that you're awesome, and I'm wondering how long on average it takes to apply to special effects makeup often associated with your character Lucifer, and has anything ever gone wrong regarding special effects makeup?
Yeah, that makeup was only latex, liquid latex that would dry, and then they'd paint in it and around it and on it, and it only took about 45 minutes to apply. But I did do a movie where I had a 6-hour makeup application, and nothing has gone wrong. I've never had a makeup malfunction while it's happening. It is tremendously uncomfortable. That particular movie that had the 6-hour makeup, I had to be up at 3:30 in the morning, get it done, and then shoot the entire day on the Gulf of Mexico. And it was like 90 with 80% humidity and full prosthetic makeup. It was really, and a fat suit. It was kind of tough. The part that's hazardous in the special effects makeup world is, in order to make face makeup, they have to put your head in a cast. And okay, how many people here are claustrophobic? Okay, you have no idea what claustrophobia is until you have freezing cold alginate poured over your face, and you can only breathe through these little holes, and then they put plaster over your entire head. Your entire head. Your ears are clogged with it, your eyes, it goes into your mouth. The only thing you're breathing out of are these 2 little teeny holes. And you're inside that cast for about 20 minutes or so. There are some actors that can't do it. But I take it as a challenge, and I'm a little bit claustrophobic. Okay, I just admitted it. I'm a little bit claustrophobic, so I take it as a challenge to really focus on something other than the fact that my head is in a cast and I can't get out. Once I start going there, it's crazy. But that's where people have literally torn the thing off. Actors. There are some actors, I won't mention any names, John Travolta, apparently, who can only wear a quarter of it at a time. They can only put a quarter of it on at a time. It's frightening. It's frightening. That answer your question? Fantastic. What's up? Yeah?
Hi.
Hey.
So my question was, since you played a bunch of different species, like an angel on Supernatural, a vampire on Being Human, and like Lost Jacob, what was your favorite species to play and why?
Well, I mean, I'm going to say something that you think it's just because I'm here, but I actually like Lucifer. It's not my favorite character that I've ever played, but amongst those that you said, Lucifer's my favorite. Because he has so much potential. And there's so much he can do. And that hasn't been tapped yet. And I'm interested in seeing where it goes. What about you?
I think that your vampire was pretty cool on Being Human. I really like that show too, so they're kind of in a tie between Lucifer and Bishop.
You know what, I think what's great about Supernatural and what was good about Being Human is that, you know, you're in a genre that's huge and deals with sort of huge apocalyptic things. Even in the vampire world, there was apocalypses and plagues and all kinds of things going on in that show. But in essence, it's about friendship and loyalty and family, and in essence, that's what Supernatural is. Even on the celestial level, it's brothers and sisters and fathers and sons and the turmoil and angst that goes on between them. And so, Lucifer was, I think, relatable. Nick was relatable. I think that's what makes them great, is that as iconic as they are, they're struggling with the same things that we struggle with on a daily basis, right? Reconciling ourselves to our parents and trying to understand who and what they are. And our actions are sort of a result of where we've come from. And these are all themes that I think are dealt with in Supernatural pretty good. By the way, I took that quiz online, where you get to see what Supernatural character you are. Yeah! Guess what Supernatural character I was?
Lucifer.
What do you think?
Crowley.
I was Dean! I was like, I'm a fucking rock star. I'm bad. I don't give a shit. I'll kill you. Don't cry. Silent!
My question is, what was it like having Mark Shepard as your personal slave for just a little bit?
You mean when I was beating the crap out of him that time? Hitting him over the head with things, slamming him into shelves?
Maybe you licked the floor and everything? When you were...
I wish I was there for that, to be honest with you. But I like the idea. But they gave me a little bit of fun there for a time, being in Cass's head, right? Wreaking havoc on Crowley, who always gets out of everything. What the fuck? I mean, over watching the seasons, I have to respect the guy's ability to he's like the Teflon demon. Nothing sticks to the guy. He can get out of anything. It's clever. You gotta respect a guy like that, right? Certain intelligence, he's got a savvy, he knows the way the world works. He's able to exploit it for his own purposes, and he even helps the boys. Yeah, no wonder you love him. When I beat the crap out of everybody in the cage, I got hate tweets for that. Like, thousands of hate tweets. And then people who liked Lucifer were like, dude, he's the devil. Guys, Sam and Dean kill people all the time. They kill people. What do you think is happening when they are killing a demon? They're killing a person. Double standards. I think they had a little beating coming. No, right? Cass made a lot of mistakes. He had a beating coming. I think they were better for it in the end.
Hi, I'm Heidi. My question is, since you've been cast as both God and the devil in different projects, did people just think of you as those characters, or how did that casting come about for both of those roles?
Actually, Lucifer was offered, which is nice. As an actor, some of the most terrible things you have to do are the audition process. It's quite nerve-wracking and silly. But Lost, I got the call. I actually read the pilot, went up for the pilot, and when I read for that, it was only a treatment, like a 23-page treatment, and it was one of the greatest things I'd ever read. It was, suspenseful, page-turning, crazy good script. And I went up for another part a couple years later, but so when Jacob came around, I almost refused to go to the audition because I had 4 auditions that day. And it was a 7-page scene with tons of dialogue. And I said, there's just no possible way I can do it and make it work. And my wife was like, you're insane, it's a great show, go in. So as usual, my wife makes me a better man. I went in feeling unprepared and not quite sure whether I was gonna do well, but it was a fun, good audition, I think. the character's name was Jason. You know, it's all secret. You know, so if the sides get out, nobody knows what's really happening. Oh, the boys are coming out. Shh. You guys were so quiet. Thank you.
It's not out of respect, it's out of fear.
So I did the audition, found out 3 weeks later I got it, and I didn't know what the part was until I actually landed, went on the set for a fitting, and one of the actors came up to me and said, "Ah, you are Jacob." So I had no idea what part it was until I actually was there. Crazy, right? Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
How was it, Mark?
What?
The people.
These were great. I think we did a lot of things here. We laughed, we cried, we thought deep thoughts, we got really superficial and silly.
Did Minneapolis get a little more free thinking while you were on stage?
I got the vibe, I felt something shift. Good.
There's a lot of jokes there, none of which I'm going to touch. Ladies and gentlemen, the devil himself, Mr. Mark Pellegrino.